the English exploration. England started exploring relatively late compared to Spain or Portugal due to being preoccupied with trade within Europe and establishing control over the British Isles. England's motives for exploration were to increase trade with the East, find gold in the New World, and to be able to practice religion freely. We will be discussing England's voyages to the East, China and India, and the New World, North and South America.
In China, England established a trading post at Kritin, and exportation of silk and tea from China increased rapidly. China began to view England as a threat to its sovereignty, so the Chinese government limited contact with European traders. Although the English did not mind at first, they began to request increased trade privileges. They were denied, which led to tensions between England and China. England's primary motive for trading with China was economic. The English exploration in China led to great profits for the British East India Company. It also caused a craze for Chinese furniture among many elites back in England.
By the end of the 16th century, the English, Portugal, and the Dutch arrived in India at the same exact time. This caused them to compete for the trading privileges.
England increased its trading efforts and created trading posts at Surat, Fort William, and Madras. Ships from England carried cotton goods to the East Indies in exchange for spices, which in turn earned explorers money when they were resold in England.
This was soon undermined by rivals, most importantly the French. French invaders captured the English fort in Madras and even successfully competed in the spice trade. Fortunately, the British were helped by Sir Robert Clive, who eventually forced the French to vacate completely from India. He also worked to centralize British control in Bengal. The British India Company was eventually awarded rights to tax land surrounding Calcutta after defeating an Indian-led army.
Trade in India had many positive effects for Britain. It helped their economy, and the ability to tax people around Calcutta provided them money for military operations, and the centralization of British power in India took away the sovereignty of the Indian people and eventually led Britain to colonize India.
At the same time, the English were exploring and conquering the East. They were also finding ways to exert power over regions in the New World. This included the east coast of present-day America, along with some of the West Indies, Barbados, Jamaica, and Bermuda.
John Cabot was the first Englishman to play a large role in the Age of Exploration when Henry VII sponsored an expedition to the New World. Later, English explorers such as Martin Frobisher were sent to find a northwest passage to India. They didn't succeed, but Hudson ended up discovering a bay, a river, and a strait in North America. Britain's motive for expanding power here was primarily economic. They developed an economy based around plantation farming. The plantations were worked by African slaves who produced tobacco, cotton, coffee, and sugar, all in high demand in Europe for the English to sell.
With all the success in the West Indies, the English decided to colonize the mainland of America. The first permanent English settlement was Jamestown, founded in 1607. John Smith, an English explorer, was very prominent in the success of Jamestown. However, Jamestown did not produce the results that English was hoping for. Jamestown barely survived, proving to England that colonizing the New World did not equal quick cash.
Even though they weren't making quick money, the English realized that successful colonization could help them gain power. This eventually led them to colonizing most of the east coast of present-day America. They used these colonies to produce cotton, tobacco, and sugar for their mother country, which they would then resell to the colonies.
This colonization had a great impact on both the Americas and England. It allowed many English Puritans who were persecuted at home to practice their religion freely in a new place. Religion was an important motive for many of the settlers. Due to the tea exports from Americas, tea became an important drink in England and many tea houses opened in London. As a result of England's success with the trade in Americas, they became bitter rivals with both Spain and France. Unfortunately, however, England exploration and settlement essentially destroyed native peoples. They were ravaged by disease and their traditions were replaced by European institutions.
Thank you, and have a good day.